Soldiers of Shoot.
Welcome everybody, Soldiers of Shoot. I'm Hollywood Edwards, here with a Smackdown review. Before I get started, I want to say thanks to our new subscribers on YouTube. Thanks for listening. Thanks for liking our tweets and sharing and following and all that good stuff. We're starting to have some fun with some people, getting some conversations rolling, so let's keep it up. So thank you. Smackdown tonight. Boy, coming off that Raw, we did the Raw review. We didn't say it was a bad show. We didn't say it was a really good show. But boy, oh boy, the 3 hour to 2 hour makes a world of a difference. I enjoyed Smackdown tonight. Mainly because, I'm going to go through it. I won't spend a whole lot of time here tonight, but there were some talking points that I need to hit. Going through this show, I love that they are threading the story. They are threading it properly. They teased Kofi and McMahon early on. Of course, on Raw, they teased that was going to be on the show. Midway through the show, they teased it again. We had a New Day spot in the beginning of the show. And then, of course, the end was the Kofi and Vince spot. Very good job by WWE tonight, so let's get into it. Smackdown. It opened up with Shane in the ring, and he had his Best in the World trophy from the big tournament that he won in Saudi Arabia. Lots of heat. The heel turns seem to work. I like it. Came out with the leather jacket and jeans, you know. I guess that's the best they can do there, you know, for Shane-O, whatever. I noticed he had the sneakers. He had the bottom of the jeans tucked into the sneakers. So I guess he's going for the old school 80s, open sneaker look, which I thought was pretty cool. A little bit douchey on his part, so that was good. He made the ring announcer pop up, and because he was getting some heat there from the crowd, introduce him 3 different times. You know, being the heel, he was grabbing the ref. He's going to do it again, do it with more fire. You know, did that whole thing. So that was pretty good. Started talking, cutting his promo, and the crowd is chanting for Kofi. Unbelievable. They have officially taken over for Kofi. Good opening segment with Shane. They teased Kofi in the next before they went to the next segment. Here's where a spot that I liked. The NXT dudes, Ricochet, Aleister Black, with the Hardy Boys. They wrestled Rusev, Nakamura, and The Bar. 4-on-4. There was no end to the match because the New Day came out and cleared the ring. I loved this spot because last week they were kind of complaining. You know, not last week. Well, yeah, it was last week. They were kind of complaining, and they were going, 11 years, and they were, moaning and groaning. I thought maybe they should have used some physicality. We saw some physicality tonight, so now the New Day is officially as frustrated as some of the fans are. Very good job. From there, they went to the Usos backstage. They cut a promo. Again, we've been saying we like the backstage stuff. It reminds us of the 90s Attitude Era type stuff. You don't have to have everything inside the ring. It looked like they were in, the Uso Penitentiary. They're on the steps, whatever. Very good promo by them. Again, those guys are a home run lately. If you agree, leave it down in the comments. We'll oose it up, me and you. They talked about brothers. I'm assuming it was about the Hardys. Or maybe it was Nick and Matt Jackson. I don't know. But they were talking about the brothers, just like them. Run up and get done up. I don't know. Are we going to see the Hardys run up and get done up by the Usos for WrestleMania? Very possible. From there, another good spot. Randy Orton comes out, starts cutting a promo on AJ. Very good promo. Talking about $12 or free tickets. 12 people in the audience in 2002 AJ. That's where he was performing while Orton was making his debut. In 2004, AJ was shaking hands with his opponents before he would get into the ring with them at the bingo hall. Obviously, the ROH reference. Then he made the TNA reference, and he said AJ went down to Florida, and he was suntanning with Dixie Carter. I loved it. This promo was for the internet, the IWC, the YWC, the hashtag wrestling community on Twitter. This was for us, and I thought it was good. It was cute. It was smarky, snarky, kind of obviously for us. A little bit inside. I'm sure the casuals wouldn't know everything that was said here, but it was really good. AJ comes out. It's his turn. He says, yeah, you're knocking on indie wrestling. I'm the indie wrestler, so they're telling the story here. It's going to be the Orton WWF made guy versus the AJ Styles indie guy. AJ had a couple cool spots here, too. He said a lot of these guys that were built by WWF wouldn't be able to make it in the indies. And he said especially this, and he hit the RKO pose, And he said that the Diamond Cutter was a knockoff. And then Orton in response said, oh, you never knocked off anything before? You never ripped anybody off? And he made the too sweet, just a subtle too sweet, kept his hand down, didn't throw it up. But it was very good. Very good. So, long story short, this is going to be a Mania match. Pretty good stuff. From there, Asuka versus Sonya Deville. They basically did the same thing from the pay-per-view, except it was Sonya's turn to trip. Looks like they're heading for a breakup here, Sonya and Mandy. They did the trip gimmick. Asuka won, so she beat them both. I think this has more to do with Sonya and Mandy Rose and their relationship than it has to do with Asuka. So the trip gimmick came into play. We'll see what happens there. Next was Becky. Becky comes out. She throws her crutch. Thankfully, we won't see her with that crutch anymore. That's an improvement. She came out, cut a decent promo. I wouldn't say it was the best promo in the world, but it was okay. Charlotte Flair came out, had some words for Becky. And, I don't know, man. It's like they're explaining... Becky's explaining how she used Ronda and got in her head, and Charlotte's saying, this is my match, and I'm the queen, and da-da-da-da. Very, very average, very pedestrian promo work here from the two girls. But it ended with Becky saying, the women's division doesn't need a queen, they need the man, and she dropped the mic, literally. So, whatever, it was okay. It was okay. Just a little more build-up. A little bit more build-up. Nothing major, but they made the appearance. Advanced the storyline a little bit. Kept it going. Shoot to the back, D. Bright and Rowan come out of the office of McMahon, and interview girl there saying, what were you doing in there? And he said it was a private conversation. It was a personal conversation. Don't worry about it. He's trying to leave, and comes back, and he says, she says, did you talk about Kofi? And he said, well, Vince booked us in a match tonight with Kevin Owens versus Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali. So they're building something there. Again, the story thread about Kofi. What it is, we don't know yet. It was fine. Lazy booking rears its ugly head here. We talked about this on the past 2-3 shows that we've done on the channel here. Soldiers of Shoot. R-Truth, Rey Mysterio, tagging, defeating the U.S. champion Samoa Joe and Andrade. Just the lazy mashup. You got 4 singles guys, then you throw them together, then you break them apart. They do the same thing with the tag team. When there's a tag team feud, they'll throw one guy versus the other guy, and then the next week it'll be the other guy's turn, and then, whatever. Lazy booking. Ray pinned Joe. Is that going to be the match at Mania for Joe? Very possible. If it is, do I care? They could do worse. I mean, there's rumors that John Cena is going to come back for Joe. Then today I heard that was squashed. We'll see what happens. If it's Ray, I mean, at least you'll get a good match. And probably a decent story in the ring for the U.S. title. From there, Rowan and D-Bride defeated Ali and Owens. Ali took the pin. Okay match, but again, it was kind of lazy booking. Whatever. On to the grand finale. Vince comes out, cuts the promo on Kofi. He says he's going to give the fans what they want. He's going to give Kofi what he wants, and it's going to be a chance at WrestleMania. So long story short, he basically said, he referenced the D-Bry spot in the back when he left his office. He basically told Kofi to his face, Daniel Bryan pretty much nailed it, hit it on the head by him saying to Vince. D-Bry said to Vince, Kofi is a B-plus player. Okay? They're doing the same story, but it's flipped. So the guy that was the B-plus player years ago in Daniel Bryan, who is now the champion, is calling his opponent a B-plus player. Storytelling. Cool. I'm cool with it. Kofi goes on a tremendous promo. And this is what I loved about this spot. He got me. Kofi got me again. This guy is killing it. He goes on this long promo. It felt long. I'm not sure how long it was, but it felt long. He was saying things like, I'm not going to complain about the fact that I showed up here every day. I'm not going to complain that I bust my ass every day and don't get a payoff. 11 years. The dream is the kid. He gets to travel the world and support his family. He's living the life as the WWE superstar, but he's not going to complain. He's not going to complain about not getting an opportunity and missing the family events and the birthdays, and he's never been trick-or-treating with his kids because he's always there working for Vince. Vince doesn't realize this, but he's not going to complain about it. And as he's saying this, I'm hearing Kofi say these words, and I'm thinking to myself, Kofi, you're complaining, and you're saying you're not complaining. But this was the magic. This was the magic of Kofi tonight. He looked at Vince, and he said, so I'm not going to complain about this and that, including how Vince has never let someone like him contend for the title. That's Kofi, okay? Think about that. There's a lot in those words. But Kofi said he's not going to complain about it. What he's going to do is stand in front of Vince and ask him, what do I need to do right now so I can do it and get it done? That was awesome. That was an awesome promo. Go back and watch that. I implore you. Even if you saw it, really let it sink in what he's doing there. It was really good mic work from Kofi tonight. Crowd pops. He says, these people believe in me. You don't believe in me, but these people do. So Vince says, okay, if you want your shot, this is all you got to do. You got to defeat this man. Randy Orton's music hits. Orton comes out. And he said, wait. And this guy, Samoa Joe, comes out. And these two guys, The Bar, come out. And this guy, Rowan, comes out with D-Bry. So now the next chapter of the story, next week, Kofi has to run the gauntlet against Orton, Joe, The Bar, and Rowan. Again, it's a chapter in a story. What happens next, I have no idea. Can Kofi really do this again? Are they going to book him to do this again? Does Kofi have what it takes to run that gauntlet? Hey, that's a pretty impressive gauntlet. You got a current champion, you got a legend in Orton, you got a decent tag team, and you got Rowan, who's been whooping some butt over the past couple weeks for Daniel Bryan. So we'll see. We have 3 SmackDowns left till WrestleMania. 3. They're taking it away. This is what they're doing. This is good storytelling. They're setting it up, and they're setting it up, and they're pulling it away. Next week, they set it up again. They let it cool down. They set it up again, get a little hotter, and they pull it away. They've been doing it all month for Kofi Kingston, and it's working. So kudos to WWE tonight. Good SmackDown show. Onward to next week. 3 left till Mania. Will Kofi get in? I think he will get in the end. And I think it's going to be a huge payoff. I think this whole storyline that they fell into again with an organic Kofi Kingston stepping in for an injured guy, they fell into it again. And I think they're going to have some magic at WrestleMania for Kofi Kingston. So overall, SmackDown, good show. Hebrew. Till next time for Soldiers of Shoot, I'm Hollywood Edwards. See you next time.